6 years ago as a 49er, Terrell Owens made a mockery of the symbol of the Cowboys. Now as a Cowboy, he hopes to be the star on NBC's Sunday Night Football. A 15-minute drive west of downtown Dallas. Texas Stadium, Irving, Texas, 73 degrees, light rain, and out onto the field for their home opener come the Dallas Cowboys. Bill Parcells in his 4th year out of retirement, leading the Cowboys against Joe Gibbs in his 3rd year post-retirement, and the Washington Redskins on Sunday Night Football. Al Michaels, John Madden, Adrian Kramer. Welcome to Texas Stadium. Washington comes in 0-1. They opened up on Monday night, squandered a lot of chances against the Minnesota Vikings. John Hall couldn't kick a game-tying field goal at the end of regulation. They lose 19-16. Dallas, meanwhile, led 10-0 at Jacksonville last week before the wheels came off down there. And in that game, Drew Bledsoe threw 3 interceptions as the Jaguars beat the Cowboys 24-17. For the last 2 months, of course, it's all been about Terrell Owens. But things are fairly quiet, John, on that front. But very noisy now on the Drew Bledsoe front, especially after last week. How important is tonight's game for the Cowboy quarterback?
Right, and that usually happens. You know, the quarterback loses. You start off 0-1. You throw 3 interceptions. We want Tony Romo. We want the backup. Bill Parcells, maybe in the future, but not so fast. We're going to stay with Drew Bledsoe. And as Bill Parcells told us yesterday, he said it's going to be interesting to me to see how Drew Bledsoe responds to last week. And I just have a feeling, maybe it's the players that he has against the defense of the Redskins. I have a feeling that Drew Bledsoe is going to respond well tonight.
Meanwhile, Romo has never thrown a regular season pass. As far as Washington is concerned now, Clinton Portis was not expected to play last week, but did. Then he hurt his shoulder again, so he will not play tonight. How will that affect the Redskins?
Yeah, I think that's big, because if you look at Joe Gibbs' teams and now Al Saunders as the offensive coordinator, even at Kansas City, they were run teams, and they love to run the ball downhill, make you play the run, then throw play-action pass. And without the run, I think a lot of the offense tonight is going to go on the shoulders of Mark Brunell.
One thing each thing is thankful for, the Giants beat Philadelphia, so the loser goes to 0-2, but would still only be a game out. 2 coaching icons tonight. Redskins, Cowboys on Sunday Night Football.
Nurofen, fast, targeted relief for pain.
Freedom for backs. New heat patches from Nurofen.
Is this the help desk? I need help.
What kind of help?
Dinosaurs and robots and outer space and why the sky is blue. Lots of stuff.
Don't you learn that in school?
I don't go to school. It's too far. I live on a farm in China.
I see.
Is there room for me over there?
We're virtual. There's always room.
Help desk.
Washington, D.C., known as Foggy Bottom, and I think some of the news about Clinton Portis in the last few days sounds like it's come from Foggy Bottom. A lot of cross-talk and cross-currents inside the talk. Andrea Kramer, what do you know about Clinton Portis' situation?
Well, Al, in the preseason, Portis had a subluxation of his left shoulder. But in last week's game, on this play, he suffered a new injury, a strained rotator cuff in the same shoulder. He told me it feels sore and weak. And as much as he wanted to play tonight, he knew it was better to rest as a precaution, so hopefully he's available for the rest of the season and not just coming in and out of games. Redskins trainer Bubba Tyre told me if they can get his strength back and the soreness out, he could be available next week.
And next week, Andrea, would be in this state. They would go to Houston against the Wobegon Texans.
And like we said earlier, the Washington Redskins need Clinton Portis, but they need a healthy Clinton Portis.
Meanwhile, Sean Sweezum will kick off. Mike Vanderjagt, who they picked up from Indianapolis in the offseason and was inactive last week, is active tonight. He will do the field goal kicking, but they'll go with two kickers tonight. Flashballs popping. Home opener at Texas Stadium in Irving as the kick is taken by Rock Cartwright at the 8-yard line. And a great tackle in the open field by Sam Hurd, a rookie out of Northern Illinois at the 22. Here's the Washington offense.
Mark Brunell, University of Washington.
Liddell Betts, Iowa. Mike Sellers, North Thurston.
Santana Moss, the U.
Brandon Lloyd, Illinois.
Chris Cooley, Utah State.
Chris Samuels, Alabama.
Derek Dockery, Texas.
Casey Raulock, Wisconsin.
Brandon Thomas, Mississippi State.
John Jansen, Michigan.
Very good offensive line. Jansen, 7th year out of Michigan. But the question is now, can they provide the holes for the backup backs?
The Redskins are starting out here with 3 wide receivers.
And they send Moss in motion to the inside. They're going to go right to the air on play action. Great protection. Brunell loves to throw to the outside and starts by going to the outside to Liddell Betts for a gain of 7. Here is the Dallas D.
Marcus Spears, Louisiana State. Jason Ferguson, Georgia. Chris Canty, Virginia. Greg Ellis, the University of North Carolina.
Brady James, LSU.
Aiken Adele, Purdue.
Marcus Ware, Troy.
Terrence Newman, Kansas State.
Patrick Watkins, Florida State.
Roy Williams, Oklahoma.
Anthony Henry, South Florida.
Watkins is a 6'5" rookie. There is Ware in his second season. The gain on the last play was 6. The ball spotted at the 27-yard line on 2nd down and 4. On the ground, they go to Betts. Liddell Betts, 5th-year, second-round draft choice in 02 out of Iowa. 3rd and short. Ware makes the hit.
Boy, is that DeMarcus Ware a good player? You know, he was a defensive end in college. Bill Parcells made him a linebacker defensive end. Here he is, 94. He plays off Cooley's block. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and then just come off that block right to the ball carrier. That's about as well as you can play that run.
At the 28-yard line, it's 3rd down and 4.
Redskins have 3 wide receivers again, and the Cowboys are in nickel or 5 defensive back defense.
Slot left is Antoine Randall L., the ex-Pittsburgh Steeler. Brunell looks the other way, and then the pass over the shoulder of Betts looked one way and they had to go the other, and it's incomplete. So they start with a pass to Betts, a run by Betts, go back to Betts, and the end result is 3 and out.
You know, we were talking to Al Saunders last night, the offensive coordinator. He wanted to throw deep. He wanted to be aggressive early in the passing game, and I think they tried to do that, but the Cowboys had good coverage, and Brunell had to come down to the short guy.
Derek Frost to do the punting. Patrick Creighton back to receive the kick. Good distance, but a low kick that may set up a run back for Creighton, and not a bad one at that as he takes it back to the 33-yard line. So the first kick of the night is 48 yards, 11-yard return. Here's the Dallas offense.
Drew Bledsoe, Washington State. Julius Jones, Notre Dame. Lusaka Polite, Pittsburgh.
Terrell Owens, Tennessee Chattanooga.
Terry Glenn,
the Ohio State University.
Jason Witten, Tennessee.
Blowville Adams, Michigan State.
Kyle Kozar, Arizona State.
Andre Gerard, Colorado.
Marco Rivera, Penn State. Mark Colombo, Boston College.
Retooled offensive line. So here is Owens in his first home action as a Cowboy. And they go to the outside, and they go to Glenn, who is operating out of the slot. And Glenn up to the 37-yard line on the first penalty of the game. Referee for tonight's game is Tony Correnti.
You know, of all the things Terrell Owens does, he is also a blocker, and that's the way they used him on that first play. Throwing that quick out there to Terry Glenn and having Terrell Owens as a lead blocker.
Call came in from the side judge. Now the umpire checks in with Correnti as well.
In fact, that penalty could be for the block that Owens laid.
Well, the side judge saw it one way, and maybe the umpire behind the play saw it another way. Let's take a look at the block first of all.
See, here's Owens here. He's the outside guy. Oh, yeah, that's illegal. Yeah, he came in and cracked. Blocked below the waist.
On Kenny Wright, the cornerback.
Personal foul, illegal cutback block, offense number 81. 15-yard penalty, remains first down.
So last week on the road, his first play as a Cowboy, they threw to him. It was a completed pass. Then he comes home, and his first home play as a Cowboy is a personal foul.
You know, I think that's one of the rules that they haven't gone over with all the wide receivers. Remember in last Sunday's game, Plexico Burris came in and had an illegal crack, and they haven't been doing a lot of cracking lately, so maybe they have to go over that again.
From the spot of the foul, thus it's 1st and 22, and the pass here is caught by Anthony Fasano, who's a tight end. He's a rookie out of Notre Dame's second-round draft choice. Here is the Redskin defense.
Philip Daniels, Brownsville, Georgia.
Cornelius Griffin, Alabama.
Joe Slavia, Arizona Wildcats.
Andre Carter, California.
Marcus Washington, Auburn.
Lamar Marshall, Michigan State.
Warwick Holman, Texas A&M.
Kenny Wright, Northwestern State.
Sean Taylor, Miami.
Adam Archuleta, Arizona State. Carlos Rogers, Auburn.
Rogers had a tough game against Minnesota last week as they go to Owens, and the crowd wants a flag on Kenny Wright out of Northwestern State. They picked him up from the Jacksonville Jaguars in the offseason. It will be 3rd down and 9.
I think that's one of the things they're trying to do is get the short pass out here to Terrell Owens, have him catch the ball, break a tackle, and run. I think somewhere, and again, you know, we're just getting started here, but I think somewhere with a Terrell Owens on one side, a Terry Glenn on the other side, I think you want to stretch this Redskin defense.
Marion Barber, whose father played in the NFL about 2 decades ago, is the 3rd down back. He's in the game. Stays in the block. Bledsoe feels the pressure. Slings it over the middle, and the pass is incomplete. But there is a flag down well back up the field at the 38-yard line of the Cowboys.
And it was Terry Glenn doing the pointing because he ran the pattern and then pointed back. And I'll bet you someone held him coming off the line.
He hopes.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 29. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Mike Rumpf, automatic first down.
Yeah, Mike Rumpf is the nickel back. He's the 5th defensive back, and oh boy, that's a grab right there, huh? I mean, he just went right for the neck. Terry Glenn runs a pattern, and the minute that the ball is thrown, Terry Glenn is pointing back to where Mike Rumpf grabbed him.
Sean Springs is still hurt, abdominal surgery. That's a big loss in the Washington secondary. Tyson Thompson's in the game as the running back, and a pitch to him here, but staying right with him. Thus getting around, though, is Thompson. And Tyson Thompson, a local kid who played at Irving High School, picks up a first down. He ran right around Andre Carter, the defensive end, who was out there with him. And another flag, though, is back up at the 44-yard line after what would have been an 18-yard gain, but that's coming back.
Offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Mark Colombo out of Boston College, a free agent, one-time #1 pick of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, that has to be a dumb penalty because the ball was, Colombo is a right tackle and the ball was around the left end. So you're going to see Colombo, but he's a right tackle here, and he's going to be coming downfield. It must be right there, but he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to block anyone because Tyson Thompson just outran the whole right side of the Redskin defense.
3 penalties already in the game, and that pass over the middle is incomplete. He tried to go to the tight end, Fasano. It'll be 2nd down.
You know, you watch football all day, and coaches, you know, especially when they lose, they talk about we didn't have any consistency, and penalties knock the heck out of consistency. I mean, you watch the Cowboys, they're moving, and then they keep getting these penalties, and they keep getting back or going back to where they started from.
Well, and that was really the major problem for Washington last week. They had 7 against Minnesota, a couple against Sean Taylor that really hurt.
Well, remember the Giants last Sunday were that way.
Absolutely. Glenn gets out of the grasp of the first man, Sean Taylor, and then picks up a few more yards as Terry gets up to the 42-yard line. And, you know, the guy like Glenn with so much attention paid to Owens, you forget about Terry Glenn, who's great in his own right.
Right, and this is what you call a side adjust. You see the guy that was on him, the corner that was on him, came on a blitz. Drew Bledsoe sees that corner coming and gets the ball right out there to Terry Glenn. And it's a, you know, it's a pretty good blitz on 2nd down. And now 3rd down, you'd like to make him make the same throw.
Glenn, already 11th year out of Ohio State, and of course played for Bill Parcells all the way back when Bill coached the Patriots in the mid-90s. Now Bledsoe throws, and the pass is caught. Anthony Fasano, but another penalty. Fasano makes the catch. Flag is down on the near side of the field at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like someone was holding Fasano, and that guy could be Andre Carter. Andre Carter, the right defensive end on a zone dog, was in a drop.
Pass holding defense number 99. This penalty is declined. The result of the play, 1st down.
And that is the call.
Yeah, and then, as I said, Andre Carter, a defensive end, but when you go to a blitz, you'll see he's on the outside there, and he's going to drop off. So you bring the blitz inside and drop your end. Now here's Carter right here. You see he grabbed here. He just grabbed Fasano all the way. It wasn't just before. I thought he grabbed him just before the ball got there. He grabbed him right on the line of scrimmage.
Jason Whitney is their number 1 tight end. Fasano is the 2nd tight end, and now they finally go to Julius Jones. As you take a look at the Cowboy runner, and he's a little short of the 1st down. Julius Jones forced out of bounds by Lamar Marshall. Jones, another of the guys who came out of Notre Dame. He was hurt in his rookie year, but when he finally got to play, he was spectacular. Had a tremendous Monday night game against Seattle, and last year, he's the kind of guy, when he gets over 100 yards, he goes way over 100 yards. He has only 4 games in his 2-year career over 100, but they're all 149 or better.
You know, Bill Parcells was telling us yesterday that he wished that Julius Jones would run through more tackles. You know, that he kind of gets hit too squarely. He takes on things squarely and not take a side.
2nd and 1, and they give it to Jones again, and Jones takes it to the 30-yard line. He's the brother of Thomas Jones of the red-hot Chicago Bears, who are 2-0 after today.
Boy, they are something, aren't they?
Wow.
I mean, they look. You give Chicago some offense, and they're going to be something. There's Greg Williams. He's the assistant head coach, and he's also the defensive coordinator. He puts in these defenses and calls them. He's a heavy pressure guy, but especially when his offense can score some points, he is going to pressure a lot more. If his offense doesn't score any points, he has a tough time pressuring.
Williams was Bledsoe's head coach when Drew was at Buffalo. Slant caught Owens. First home catch as a Cowboy, and another bit of laundry. So that's good for 11.
But that's what he can do. I mean, he's so big and so strong. If he can get his outside shoulder inside that cornerback's inside shoulder, that slant is automatic.
At the conclusion of the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 96. This penalty will be assessed half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
That's the defensive tackle, Cornelius Griffin.
Now watch Owens out here. The minute he gets that outside shoulder right there, once he's inside that corner, that is going to be a completion. Of course, Carlos Rogers plays him so soft, he couldn't or didn't react to anything in that position.
1st and goal now. This is the 10th play of the drive. They give it to Jones, whose brother gained 64 yards on 21 carries today for Chicago. And it will be second down. Marcus Washington makes the tackle. So like last week, John, a good opening drive for the Cowboys, and now we'll see if they can sustain it.
Yeah, and that's, you know, last week they got ahead 10-0 in Jacksonville, and they looked as good offensively as anyone could. And then in the second half, the wheels fell off. Cowboys have 3 wide receivers in there now, and the Redskins are in their nickel defense.
Jones is the running back. That's Creighton, 84 in motion. Quick throw to Owens, and Owens has Carlos Rogers right on top of him. Rogers, second-year cornerback, #1 draft choice last year from Auburn.
That was a good play by Carlos Rogers. You know, I thought he played that slant softly, and here you look at the cushion. That's what Bledsoe sees, but watch how quickly Carlos Rogers gets up there. That's the thing. If you're going to play on him, and they're going to throw him those short ones, you know, he's going to catch those, but you sure as heck better tackle him right there, and Carlos Rogers did.
Owens this time wide to the right, bottom of the screen. Third down and goal from the 7-yard line. Fake draw. In the pass. It's caught. But no, he's out of bounds. It's Owens just for a second. It looked like he had it in the back of the end zone. Couldn't maintain possession. Out of bounds. It'll be 4th down and goal.
You know, over his career, he has done that. Remember, there was there for a while for the 49ers that he really had problems. Here he is, the outside receiver. He comes up, just runs that end zone. I mean, that end line, the ball is right there. He goes up and he just drops it on the way down. I don't know if out of bounds would have come into play or just a drop pass.
It's Mike Rumph who got his hand in there. Rumph, who used to play with San Francisco. Vanderjagt for the extra point in his first action as a Cowboy for the field goal. Chip shot field goal, 7:59 remaining in the opening period. 3-0 Cowboys.
Ah, you and your moods. We salute you. They're what makes you, you. So bring 'em on. You in the mood to get up? One Nescafe full calf coming right up. Feeling mellow? A rich Nescafe decaf should tickle that fancy. You somewhere between up and mellow. Up, mellow. How about a half calf? For you, we can do that. Full, half, decaf. Go on, you do the moods, we'll do the coffee. Because at Nescafe, it's all about you.
Call and text your T-Mobile mates more, so you won't miss a thing. One great rate on pay-as-you-go. Mates rates from T-Mobile.
By Mike Vanderjagt after Mike Rumph, who spent 2 years in San Francisco with Owens. They were teammates, so they've seen a lot of each other in practice, and Rumph got a hand in and cost the Cowboys a touchdown.
Yeah, Mike Rumph got his right hand in there before Terrell Owens got his second hand on the ball.
Now Sweezum kicks off. Vanderjagt just doing the placements tonight. And this is Rock Cartwright with some room to the outside. Cartwright up to the 31, and another penalty flag is thrown. We've already had a bunch in a game that's barely 8 minutes old.
During the return of the kick, holding, receiving team number 83. 10-yard penalty, first down.
In fact, barely 7 minutes old right now as James Thrash is flagged for that one. So close for Owens, but it sets up a field goal, 3-0.
Druids Glen Golf Resort, voted European Golf Resort of the Year 2005. A golfer's paradise in the Garden of Ireland. 2 championship golf courses of contrasting design. The luxurious Marriott Druids Glen Hotel and Country Club, featuring 148 specially appointed guest rooms and a magnificent spa and health centre. Visit our driving range, pro shops, golf academy, and get your golfing tips or tuition from our resident PGA teaching professional.
As well as being a thirst-quenching soft drink,
Yes, that's right, Dave.
a Sprite is also a sort of goblin. This Sprite is not so refreshing at a festival. And it definitely hasn't got any taste.
Here we go. Right and left and right and right. Left and right and right and left.
Try new Sprite Z. Great Sprite taste, 0 added sugar.
Play football. Dante Culpepper has all the right moves for Miami, who brought in 2004's passing leader to fill the void at quarterback. With targets like Chris Chambers coming off his first 1,000-yard season and Marty Booker, Culpepper should quickly step into the groove and dance into the end zones, keeping Dolphins fans on their feet.
Central and Mountain right here on NBC. After the penalty, the Washington Redskins start from the 11-yard line. Second possession, Brunell was 1 of 2 for 6 yards on the first possession, and it's been all Betts thus far as he's carried the ball for both of their rushers, and they've thrown to him twice, once complete. And there is Clinton Portis, who is inactive tonight but did make the trip, and as Andrea reported at the top of the show, they hope to have him back next week in Houston.
Yeah, because he's so important to this team. You know, he's not only a runner, but he's a pass catcher, and he's a good blocker. I mean, he is darn near a devastating blocker. He and Edgerrin James, to me, are two of the best blocking running backs in football.
He was originally injured in the game we had in mid-August in Cincinnati, making a tackle following an interception. This is Betts again. He's taken down there by Greg Ellis, and Washington is presented with a 3rd down and 1.
You know, talking to Joe Gibbs last night, he kept saying that, you know, he just kicked himself for only running the ball 17 times last year. I think last week. In the stats, it shows more because some of those lateral passes are, you know, charted as runs, but they only ran the ball 17 times. And he said, that's not us. That's not Redskin offense. We have to run the ball.
So Al Saunders, who was in Kansas City under Vermeil for the last 5 years. Very potent offense there, and it's been all Betts thus far, but Roy Williams is right there to knock him down before he can get the first down.
Now, if you're a kid and you're playing high school football and you're a defensive back and or linebacker and you want to know, you know, what is a tackle or how do you tackle, watch Roy Williams there. That is a perfect pursuit, a perfect line, and a perfect tackle. That is what you call a decleater. The moment the contact came, all cleats went out of the ground.
Derek Frost's first kick was a 48-yarder. They have Terrence Newman back to return the kick. Newman, the cornerback, to the 44. They would normally have Jamaica Rector as their return guy, but with 2 kickers, Rector's the guy that winds up on the inactive list. Great hit by Williams. Dallas has the ball back. 3-0 Cowboys.
Some people think the internet is a good thing. The most powerful educational tool the world has ever known. It's preserving our history, keeping the past alive forever. It's the only place where freedom of speech truly exists. Some people think the internet is a good thing. What do you think?
Ireland has over 400 golf courses to choose from. The toughest decision you have to make is which ones to play. Ireland is home to the 2006 Ryder Cup. Consider yourself invited.
can log on to NBCSports.com. After the game, Bob Costas, Peter King will look at the big news of Week 2, and also our man John Robinson. There he is, the former Rams coach and SC coach and great pal of John Madden, who travels with us every week. He's got a blog during the game.
Yep, it's great to have him with us and great to have him part of the team, and that's what happens to old coaches, Al. They become bloggers.
Don't go ripping the announcers, John, on that blog now. We've got spies out there. First down. Bledsoe is going to throw it away. Looked over the middle. The protection that time was good before Cornelius Griffin got in there. Drew Bledsoe is a guy who gets hit a lot. He's been sacked more than any active quarterback. Last year, he was hit 82 times in the act of throwing. It doesn't even include the sacks. 5 times last week against the Jaguars. So that was about the average last week. So he takes a lot of hits, and yet despite that, he has been extremely durable through his career. He started every game in 9 of his 13 seasons, but that one hit by Mo Lewis against the Jets in 01 was the singular hit that provided the path for Tom Brady, and the rest of New England is history. Here goes Jones up to the 49-yard line. It'll be third down and about 5.
You know, it's interesting you bring up the hits on Drew Bledsoe, and you know he takes more hits than anyone, but on that first down pass, what they did is they went to maximum protection, and that's why he had to throw the ball away, because he only had a 2-man pattern. And over here on the right, there were 4 Redskin defenders on the Cowboy receiver, so he had nothing. So that's what you sacrifice. You know, you say, let's give him protection, let's go maximum protection. Then the more you protect, the fewer you get out.
Third down and 5 now. Carter, who came over from San Francisco, a new addition. Short drop, and then over the middle, he's right on the money and gets it in there to Terrell Owens. Short little pattern right through the middle. Owens gets popped by Sean Taylor, but it's a first down for the Cowboys.
And we saw it earlier where Terrell Owens was the outside receiver. On this one, he's the inside receiver. He's going to be the slot right here, the second slot in. And again, it's that same deal. He gets that outside shoulder inside the corner, and it's going to be complete. I mean, he is so big and so strong, he can just run right through that corner's shoulder.
2 catches for number 81 for 10 yards. Jones probing. It's inside the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3. Andre Carter makes the stop. Ticking down to 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Again, the giant win, and that was a giant win, one of the greatest in Giants history today, down by 17, win in overtime. Otherwise, Philadelphia would have been 2-0, and the loser of this game would be looking way up, even though we're 2 games into the season in a very tough division. Jones, and he's met as Taylor comes up, and he gets some help from Warwick Holden, the linebacker.
Yeah, we talked about Roy Williams and what a good tackle that was and what a good tackler he is. Well, on the Redskin defense, that same guy is right here, Sean Taylor. And you watch him, and he's back here. And the second that he sees that ball flipped and Reed's run, he is right up there. And again, he'll get a few penalties now and then, as will Roy Williams, but they're both 2 of the better tackling safeties.
Marion Barber in the game as the third down back, change of pace guy. Third down and 6 from the 38-yard line, with the Cowboys up 3-0. Good protection. Bledsoe throws perfect, but a flag in. Glenn makes the catch, and if the penalty is against Washington, it'll be first down and goal. But around Kenny Wright, the cornerback, flag is down at the 18-yard line, and both teams are moving down toward the goal line. We'll get to Randy's call.
And I'll say Terrell Owens probably ran the wrong pattern, because when the ball got there, Terry Glenn and Terrell Owens were both there. In fact, T.O. could have picked him.
Illegal contact, defense number 25. This penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
That's Kenny Wright, the guy who eventually got beat anyway, 34 yards.
You see both receivers up on the top side, and Terrell Owens got bumped there, and that's why he didn't get out. He was supposed to be the deep guy, and then Glenn was going to come underneath him, and he got bumped and didn't get as deep as he should have.
First and goal. Bledsoe rolling, looking, and then throws the